It genuinely irks me when people act like they're helping the world, but are actually overlooking more tangible, real-world problems. ResetEra is a prime example. Welcome back to Otaku Daikun. Dai here. Some of my own viewers have called me out as turning into another one of those cringy anti-SJW channels, or that my use of the term social justice warrior only describes a straw man or stereotype. Let me quickly address this. I make these videos with three simple goals: to ensure that the anime I love has presence, understanding, and respect. First one's simple. People say anime's a niche, but literally anything's gonna be niche if advertisers and companies shy away from it. I can go to Akihabara in Tokyo and see massive billboards advertising a new anime figure. Yet in America, I can't even visit my console's PlayStation store and find Code Vein's newly released DLC without searching for it manually. Why is the only anime game worth showing on the homepage Dragon Ball Z Kakarot? Pretty sure everyone knows about the NFL, Call of Duty, FIFA, Fortnite, or Anthem, but because those games own a constant spot in trending, it creates this illusion that nothing else exists. This mockery of a Sonic film, as far as it's come, will still be featured all across the nation for a full run, while the gorgeous Violet Evergarden movie will only be showing in my state at a select theater, over nearly an hour away for just 2 days out of the year. Then, to top it all off, companies like Funimation, who exist solely to distribute anime, decide to deplatform the season's hottest new title. A lot of this is because there's this stupid stigma that anime fans are weird or creepy, that Japan's values are too subversive to be mainstream, all while bizarre shows like Rick and Morty bathe in popularity. Not to say they're bad, just pointing out a double standard. My desire to create a charity stream called Waifu for Laifu is but one endeavor to help people understand what we anime fans, in particular the ones who like the anime that keep getting banned or censored, can tangibly make the world a better place, and prove that such anime is just an escapist fantasy for us. I'm still recruiting people interested in helping with that, by the way. Hit me up. Ultimately, this understanding should allow everyone to respect anime, to realize they don't have to change it for it to be welcome in the West. It's a three-step process, and so I politely insist my attempts be thought of as more of an anime advocacy, and not the groanings of some man-child. The reason why a social justice warrior is so wildly targeted is, quite simply, because of the very notion of a social justice warrior. Someone who feels like policing our thoughts and fantasies is making the world better by ending the societal normalization of problematic behaviors presumably perpetuated by media. Rather than going out and educating people, or helping actual victims of abuse, they try to cleanse the world of anything potentially offensive at the expense of our freedom to create and express ourselves. The same kind of people reporting artists on Twitter for drawing young anime girls refuse to believe that not everyone who looks that young is underage. Like, I get it, Matoi Ryuko is 17, or was when Kill la Kill came out, but IRL, she'd be in her 20s now, and would probably look exactly the same. We don't find her attractive because she's 17. She's hot because she's hot, and it's just unfortunate her creator gave her an arbitrary age number for us to argue about. I shouldn't have to explain why anime fans like this art. Duh, we're pervs, but we're not creepers. And I'm sure the best of us will out anyone who takes their fantasies too far against a real human inappropriately. Most always, fans are just sharing artwork that took a lot of talent and practice to create, and enjoying it within reason. In contrast, we have ResetEra, a gaming forum filled with people who claim to be making the industry better for everyone, but do so by forcing cancel culture onto innocent creators and their creations. What's got me riled is this particular post. The official Code Vein Twitter recently tweeted that the game sold 1 million worldwide copies, and the creators want to thank all of their fans. It's got this classy artwork of Mia holding a wine glass. This tweet was tossed into ResetEra and berated by one of its users, arguing the game is merely a mediocre Souls clone that's only selling point is sexualized anime characters. They take this to signify that the gaming industry is not maturing past pandering. Pandering, huh? Sounds an awful lot like a quota to me. Did it occur to them that both the people making and purchasing the game are passionate about what they're doing? Do they really think a game like this was just churned out by a bunch of apathetic businessmen, ordered to expose anime gals simply because they knew it would sell? On the contrary, us cultured individuals are a lot more aesthetically picky than you might think. The game's popular because it's good. We love those character designs, and such quality designs wouldn't have been possible without passionate artists who truly wanted to make them. Plus, since when did gaming have to be mature? Last I checked, modern gaming as we know it was saved by a rotund plumber who does shrooms to fight turtles. Just like our beloved Uzaki-chan, who's getting her own anime if you haven't heard, Code Vein had a promotion with the American Red Cross, offering goodies for those who donated blood. Not sure what kind of maturity you're looking for when you overlook fans facing the queasy fear of needles to support both their fandom and those in need simultaneously. I think it's pretty admirable. And just like that, it's not hard to walk 2 feet into ResetEra's toxicity without encountering boatloads of hypocrisy. It's a massive echo chamber that'll jovially toss the banhammer your way just for daring to disagree. You know how I just released a comprehensive video talking about fake characters and their gender identity? I tried to be as open-minded as possible for that, and I'd certainly never ban anyone for disagreeing with me. In contrast, ResetEra reminds me of a Tumblr blog on Mordred, shouting that everyone who thinks Mordred is a woman is transphobic. While that never happened on ResetEra, I think you'll agree with me upon looking at these other takes I've pulled from Twitter. After all, if you unironically enjoy Kill la Kill, you'll be immediately banned for dismissing the sexualization of minors. No questions asked, no intent to understand where we're coming from. Here's a thread titled, "What is this garbage design doing in my Atelier game?" obviously referring to the admittedly exaggerated proportions of this female character. The OP ridicules fans' tastes by saying, "How are people turned on by this shit?" They fear that they're going to have to deal with perverted fan service infecting more series designed for women. Like, I'm sorry that other women tend to be the biggest slut-shamers. It's not as if the Atelier series hasn't had fan-servicey female designs before. And who said it was just designed for women? Pretty sure all the moe was there to attract dudes, too. But I get it, you don't like the character design. Well, you know what? We've all got character designs we don't like. I obviously don't play FGO just so I can get a whiff of Spartacus's jockstrap, but it's not like I'll abandon the game just because he's in it. The folks on there are saying Japan puts those ridiculous proportions on women because they don't need help from the West, and only rely on a niche Japanese audience, and yet Atelier Ryza is hitting sales records worldwide. Another thread is called, "It's 2019 and Pokemon is still creating moves that prevent same-gender Pokemon from loving each other." Really? Are you that desperate to see gay Pokemon? That'd be like me getting pissed at my dog for not being gay. Instead of policing other fictional species, why don't you celebrate that Fire Emblem Three Houses let Dream Girl Byleth romance the lovely Dorothea? Oh, you mean they didn't play that far because they were offended by the very midriff that made me buy the game? Ain't that a shame? Soul Calibur 6 rolled out DLC for Hilda, a woman who has a form-fitted breastplate. A user got banned from ResetEra simply for anticipating the community's outrage. The reason? Mocking concerns of sexism. The user totally called it, though. Look at all the whining. Of course, there's no issue when a different user mocks Tekken fans by saying its female characters were primarily designed as jerkbait. Oh, and they're praising Mortal Kombat 11 because they made the women look just as generic and boring as the men. The idea of someone feeling empowered by a revealing outfit is completely alien to them. Case in point, we've got people saying, "Oh, whenever this happens, I just say, fucking Japan," and it's seen as acceptable behavior. But then there's a Latino user who says, "Fuck the colonizers that came up with Latinx." Shouldn't they both be banned for that very same hostile commentary listed by the admins? Double standards. Everywhere. And to prove that point, someone tried to create a thread about posting your most attractive characters in games, and the moderator closed it out of fear of encouraging boys' club behavior. Looks like fans logging on to express something they enjoy is just too much for them. You're not allowed to enjoy something that offends somebody else. Them's the rules around these parts. See this guy? He likes thigh highs. I know many of you like thigh highs too. Looks like we're all inappropriately objectifying. Bans ahoy! What they will keep on the site, though, is something that accuses fans of being pedos if they happen to find the sorceress from Dragon's Crown attractive, labeling her as a lolicon fantasy. Bitch, please, do you even know what lolicon is? I'm concerned about how ResetEra represents anime fans, but that doesn't count. The only representation they care about is diversity. hence why they banned a user for saying they're against changing long-established character designs to force diversification. Plus, knowing my audience, I shouldn't have to defend why someone who claims visual novels like Fate Stay Night are problematic as fuck is, in fact, dumb as fuck. To add to the fire, here's another banned user who simply stated they follow information regarding censored video games. Inherently, this means if you express your support of my content, you too would be supporting bigotry. Same goes for other YouTubers, like Red Letter Media, you know, the Mr. Plinkett reviews. If you like his content, they'll ban you on account of ignoring a sensitive topic. Now, you'd think ResetEra, being a haven for respecting people through sensitive issues, would have a little mercy on a streamer who didn't feel comfortable streaming with women. Nope, that's sexism. How dare a married man be uncomfortable about a woman? Only women are allowed to be uncomfortable. Is that it? Even when creators are on ResetEra's side, painting their assaulter characters as evil villains, they're still being sexist, and so are you if you don't agree. This was reflected when a user tried to explain why others were in a hissy fit over Atlas, being honest about how just 2 scenes between Persona 5 and Catherine are enough for some to invalidate the entire company. Banned. Dismissing concerns around bigotry. That's right. Their only acceptable way to look at these games is as phobic crimes committed by their director. Oh, and then there's the usual, don't like the character Rose Tico because she was poorly written, starting off The Last Jedi by honoring her sister's noble sacrifice, only to stop Finn from sacrificing himself by, oh yeah, crashing her fragile ship into his? Nope, you must be dismissing concerns of racism. Banhammer! This hatred extends not just to the creators or fans, but to the very fictional characters they claim to be defending. I made a video talking about how Naoto from Persona 4 isn't trans, and how actual trans people should respect her decision because that's what identity politics is all about. But of course, ResetEra is all about declaring her decision inherently problematic. The mere thought of being comfortable in your own skin will get you banned for being transphobic. They only care about other people if it supports their agenda that
everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out.
They must not be exempt from their own agenda, as one user managed to cruelly say that, in regard to John Boyega, they liked him better when he kept his mouth shut and knew his place. Sure enough, as this user proves, you can literally get banned for breathing here. Mod whining? Nice made-up word you've got there. You're not even allowed to comment on the frequency of bans, even if you hit the nail right on the head, that everyone who has an opposing opinion is afraid to express it in such a toxic environment. At the end of the day, ResetEra tries to assert itself as a progressive forum, convinced that most Japanese media is transphobic, homophobic, sexist, and bigoted, when really they're just forcing their Western hatred onto another culture, without bothering to understand their opposition. I guess I didn't really have to give these examples at all. All I really had to say was that the users there actually watch and enjoy Big Mouth. Ugh. From the very beginning of my YouTube channel, when I refer to SJWs, wokes, progressives, snowflakes, you name it, I'm talking about the kinds of people who manage to thrive on places like ResetEra. This may come off as a rant, but I genuinely extend the comment section to you. Do you agree with what I'm saying, or should I back off? Do you think sites like this actually do change society for the better? Personally, I just think we should all celebrate Code Vein's success. If you haven't bought it yet, I highly recommend it. If you're low on cash, no sweat. I archived my entire playthrough here on YouTube, including the new kick-ass DLC. Even if you do own the game, check out my lore video, which talks about the game's obvious parallels to the God Eater franchise. Don't let a site like ResetEra get in the way of you celebrating your fandom. Thanks for watching! If you enjoy this channel, help me beat the algorithm by liking, commenting, and sharing the video, subscribing to Otaku Daikun, and most of all, smashing that notification bell as if it were your waifu. That way you'll never miss out on all of my anime content, lore videos, live streams, and Holy Waifu Wars polls. My vids are struggling to get featured, so that bell is absolutely critical. If you want to support me directly, check out my Patreon, or consider donating via Super Chat. And as always, celebrate your fandom.